All right, y'all. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 10, episode 12. Not much this episode, pretty much like a filler episode. But it did pick up where it left off from the previous episode, which was at Candy's essence party or whatever, when they was telling Cynthia all this information about Will. And so you guys remember when it left off with Portia telling Cynthia that she had something to tell her as well. So we get into what Portia has to say about Will. Portia tells Cynthia that, she heard that Will is an opportunist and that she heard that he is dating somebody else. So Cynthia, she starts to get emotional and everything. And then, Will, he comes over asking her what's wrong and this, that, and the third. And in the midst of all of this, Mama Joyce walks over to Portia and saying that she wants to talk to Portia soon as, she can and everything. Kim, she's annoyed that everybody is trying to deter Cynthia from talking to this guy and everything because people try to do the same thing when it came to her and Corey or whatever. And so, everybody starts to leave and everything. And like I told you guys last week, I mean, not last week, but the week before, I was just annoyed with how they presented this information to Cynthia or whatever. I was just annoyed with the shit. But I gotta get on Cynthia too, because it's like, Cynthia, you getting all up in your feelings and everything, and you keep on saying, I'm 50 Cent or whatever, I'm just dating this, that, and the third, but you getting in your feelings about this shit. You know what I'm saying? If you saying you just dating him and everything, you're not trying to, be too serious right now, then it's like, why are you just, what I'm saying, getting like this emotional about the matter? But anyway, so Cynthia, she leaves with Will and everything, and Marlo is having a conversation with Candy, and she's saying to Candy how Cynthia is gullible and all this other shit, this, that, and the third. And Cynthia and Will, they're in the car together and everything. And, she was pretty much saying she didn't really care about them talking about the fact of him being in a relationship before her or whatever that situation was. But, when Portia said that, pretty much Will was, an opportunist and was using her and everything, this, that, and the third, that's what kind of, got her fucked up a little bit. And, he was like, what opportunity? Are you about to, buy me a Benz or something, buy me a house? Because I got my own house and everything, this, that, and the third. Like, he was just really agitated and really annoyed and everything. And he was like, he didn't sign up for this or whatever. And, she's like, I mean, I didn't know all of this was going to happen. I was ambushed and whatever, whatever. So Portia, she meets up with Mama Joyce, and she didn't expect them to meet up the very next day after Candy's event. You know what I'm saying? She was saying like, listen, I needed like at least a week or so to deal with Mama Joyce and her antics. And they flash back to all the times Mama Joyce has gotten unruly and ran amok up in the place, okay? Or in the palace, as Mama D would say, So they meet, having lunch or whatever. And, Mama Joyce, lets Portia know that Candy doesn't know about them having this conversation and everything. And I don't understand why Mama Joyce feels like she has to meddle in Candy's business. But, I mean, this is not surprising because Mama Joyce been doing this shit. So I can't even sit up here and be, I can't sit up here and just get all hyped up about it, because this is what she does. She always meddling into Candy's affairs and whatnot. But anyway, so Mama Joyce was like, do you feel what Phaedra was saying was the truth or whatever? And Portia is like, I mean, I didn't sit up here and think that Candy would like, try to drop something in my drink and would poison me or whatever, this, that, and the third. But because it was Phaedra that was saying it, Phaedra being my friend and then her being, an attorney, I took her word for it and everything or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And, Portia does say that she feels like, Candy was a true friend to her and everything, this, that, and the third. And, Mama Joyce is like, like they was talking about other stuff, but I'm just trying to get to the point because I really didn't care. But Mama Joyce is pretty much telling, Portia, I mean, I ain't gonna die. You a ride or die bitch. She was like, you a ride or die. You know what I'm saying? I can't fault you for that or whatever. And Portia was saying that she can be loyal to a fault and everything. And Mama Joyce is telling her, but don't let this situation stop you from being loyal. You just gotta know who to be loyal to and everything. And ooh, excuse me. Sorry, y'all. I felt the coming. But yeah, Mama Joyce was telling her, just be loyal to the right people and everything, this, that, and the third. And Portia is asking Mama Joyce, do you have any advice on how to deal with Candy and everything? And Mama Joyce is like, listen, Candy is not as hard or tough as she tried to put on or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, just, explain to her the situation, just tell her the truth. And I'm just like, but they done already had conversations about this shit, like, I mean, what more can Portia do? You know what I'm saying? Like, either Candy gonna fuck with her and try to work on their friendship, or she isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like all this keep on having conversation, and it just, I'm over it. Like I told y'all before, it's cool if Candy don't want to be friends with her no more. I'm cool with that. But all this ass kissing and yeah, I'm over it. But anyways, moving on. So Nene and Cynthia, they go to dinner or whatever, to talk about what happened at Candy's event. And Nene is saying to Cynthia that pretty much she wanted to hook up with Cynthia that that night or whatever, and tell her herself about the shit. But Kenya came in and decided to do it herself or whatever. Now I will say this: I know I did say before that I felt like maybe Nene might have wanted to hook up with Cynthia like the next day or something to tell her about this shit. But no, Nene, yeah, I agree with the other YouTubers. Yeah, your ass just wanted to be the first one to tell the tea. Because, yeah, why sit up here and tell, everybody else about it first and then be one to tell Cynthia about it? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I mean, the fact that Nene and Eva had put it out there to the other girls and everything is kind of like, well, fuck. I mean, Kenya kind of felt like at that point she had no choice but to tell Cynthia because y'all putting it out there to all the other girls. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, whatever, Nene. But Nene is like that. She's just very protective over Cynthia. She's a newly divorcee or divorcee or whatever. And she's just very protective over her and everything. And she doesn't want Will to use Cynthia. And Cynthia's like, well, why do you think that and everything? And Nene is like, I don't think that he will use you or whatever. I just don't want you to be stupid. And, Cynthia's asking, well, how do you feel about him and everything? And Nene is like, well, I mean, I thought he was fine at first or whatever, but then I saw Peter come through. I saw him come through or whatever. And, and that's when Nene kind of was like, I think Peter, might have it and everything because, she feels as though, I guess Peter is more Cynthia's type, a little rough around the edges, and that's not Will and everything. And so, they get off that conversation. Cynthia, she wants to, scratch something off her bucket list because, she 50 Cent. Okay, she wants to scratch something off her bucket list. She wants to go to Barcelona with the girls and everything, and she wants Nene to help her out. Nene sitting up here shading Cynthia because Cynthia's like, I'm gonna be honest here, I might be budgeting this whole trip and everything. I might be on Groupon and all of that. And Nene was like, Groupon? I said, hold up, Nene, what's wrong with Groupon? Because girl, let me tell you, I hop my ass on Groupon real motherfucking quick, okay? I'm just saying, like, y'all remember when my laptop got fucked up or whatever, and I had to get like a new one and everything. I mean, I put my old one, I sent my old one out to get fixed or whatever, and I, gave it to my mom and everything. But the new laptop I got that shit right off of Groupon, okay? You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, yes, I know they got way more money than, I know Cynthia and Nene and all them got way more money than what we got. But even if I did have that type of money, I still would be on Groupon. Okay, I'm just saying. That's how people go broke quick, trying to sit up here and be glamorous all the time or whatever. But let me get off there because I feel like I'm just rambling now. But but anyway, so Cynthia's like, well, are you gonna invite your new BFF or whatever, Eva and everything, and Nene, she caught the shade or whatever, and so Cynthia, she's like, well, what about Kim? Or whatever. And then Nene is like, oh, Lord, she got to tag along. She got to tag along her Uber driver with her, talking about Croy and everything and how, Kim's going to make up every excuse in the book not to come or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Cynthia's like, well, we'll invite her anyway or whatever. So just, extend the invitation. So Cynthia, she meets with Peter or whatever, and they go out to lunch. And she was bothered that he ignored her at Candy's event and everything. And it's just like, Cynthia. And it's like, why do we have to keep on saying this? Like, I understand y'all got history. I get all that. You know what I'm saying? They was together for like 10 years, And I get all that, but you got to give this man some time. You wanted the divorce, not him. You got to give him some time to really, feel comfortable being around you like that. I mean, yes, he does kind of have to be around you because, y'all still went into business together and everything. But on some friend type of shit, you got to give that man some time. You know what I'm saying? And, Peter is like, well, I saw you on a date or whatever. So, I went this way and everything. And Cynthia, she didn't like that because she's like, I mean, if I saw you with the date or whatever, I still speak and everything, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, Cynthia, everyone is not you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And, she didn't know what to do or whatever. She didn't know whether she should introduce Peter and everything. Peter is not open to like being introduced to anybody that Cynthia is dating right now, which is, like I said, understandable, and Peter is like, well, Todd did tell me that after I left you were crying or something like that, like, what, what's going on? And so she tells him that, the girls are saying that, Will is, an opportunist and all this other stuff, this, that, and the third. And, Peter is like, well, it seems like they just looking out for you, and Cynthia, she doesn't feel that way or whatever. Yeah, Cynthia, sometimes she doesn't like to listen to when people tell her stuff and everything. But like I said before, I don't like how the girls are just keep on making this an ongoing issue either. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she want to sit up here and deal with this man or whatever, and if it seemed like she falling for him too quickly, even though she tries to say that she's not, if it seemed like she falling for him too quickly and she land on her ass and it comes out that maybe he is an opportunist in everything, that's on her. That's on her. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a hard head make a soft ass, like, I just don't like how they just keep on, doing that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so, like I said, she didn't feel that she feels that it wasn't that way or whatever. She didn't feel like they were, just looking out for her, or at least in that moment, he's like, why are you so defensive? She's saying that she's not. And he's like, well, was he defensive when they was coming at him? Cynthia claims that he wasn't, but he was. Will was being defensive, and it did seem like he had something to hide because he kept on changing up his story and everything, but whatever. So anyways, Peter is like, just live your life. You know what I mean? And also Cynthia did mention to us too that even though she likes Will and everything, she got to take a break from him for a minute after all that shit went on at, Candy's event or whatever. And so now Cynthia, she trying to have a divorce contract with Peter, just like how she got a friendship contract with Nene. I said, she talking about having some divorce rules with Peter and stuff like that, and how they gonna act towards each other in public. I said, Cynthia, you don't sit your ass the fuck down somewhere. But anyways, okay, so then we have Portia. You guys remember in the last episode she was talking about having like a no beef dinner with the girls and everything. So Kenya, Candy, and Nene, they're not going to be able to make it or whatever. They have other engagements that they have to attend to. And Marlo, she's the first one to show up. And she's outside waiting for somebody, I guess, to answer the door. She's instantly shading Portia's house and everything, looking all inside like, ooh, who got them drapes up there like that? And just saying all types of stuff or whatever. And she's like, does the doorbell work and everything? And she just ended up walking in the house or whatever because nobody came to the door, and I assumed that the doorbell wasn't working. So anyways, so Sheree shows up, and then Kim shows up, and Kim still, like, every time I turn around, and I ain't saying nothing about it before, I think somebody else said something about it, Kim always got a damn red cup in her hand. Why is that? Like, why is this child, every event or everybody house she comes to, she come with her own red cup and everything? Like, I can't. But anyways, Cynthia is supposed to be coming late or whatever, so Sheree is asking Marlo what happened at Candy's event, because you remember Sheree and Kim, they kind of sort of came late to the action that was going on. And so Marlo was like, well, Nene pulled us to the side, and that's when Eva was telling us about Will and everything. And, everybody just started kind of giving their input or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, Kim is like, oh yeah, Cynthia, she can't handle shit like that and everything. And so then that's when Portia was like, well, I told her, don't put your all into it and everything. And, Sheree was like, yeah, because I saw Cynthia crying or whatever. And then that's when Marla was like, wait a minute, I didn't know she was crying and everything. And, Cynthia, she shows up, and it went silent. Just like that. Crickets. Soon as Cynthia showed up, I said, you punk ass bitches. You fake ass bitches. Because, when she showed up or whatever and they got quiet, they all hugging on her and everything, like, oh, this the real model right here, and this, that, and the third. But Cynthia knew some bullshit was going on, because she was in her confessional like, when you feel like, motherfuckers was talking about you before you showed up, yeah, I peep game or whatever. And so, they start talking about the situation that happened at Candy's event with Cynthia. And Cynthia is like, listen, my only concern was if he had a girlfriend right now at this moment. And he said no. And so, Cynthia, she starts telling all of them about themselves. She starts telling Marlo about herself and Portia about herself and everything, telling her what she was telling her about Will right then and there. And, Marlo, she gets on Cynthia about crying. And, Shamia is like, I just think maybe because Peter was there or whatever, that just kind of heightened, your emotions and in this, that, and the third. And, Cynthia's like, yeah, that was the start of it and everything. And so then they go inside to, eat. And Portia, she makes this little joke or whatever. She's like, oh, y'all be careful on this wood table because it's going back tomorrow. I said, Portia, like, oh my God. I was like, what? I was like, you borrowed a table, girl. Whatever. I guess you don't want them messing up your shit. So, hey. Whatever. But anyways, so Cynthia, she tells them about the lunch that she had with Peter. They think that she's still in love with Peter and everything, and she's like, I mean, no, like, I'm just trying to be his friend and everything, this, that, and the third. So this is something else they about to grill Cynthia about and everything. So Marlo, she just starts burping out of nowhere, and Marlo's ass was drunk. Her ass was drunk because she was just being so random and just doing random shit. So she burped and she was like, yeah, I'm trying to get you all's attention and everything. And Cynthia was cool with that because she wanted the heat to be off of her and everything. So she tells them about the trip, which they already knew about. She also invites Shamia as well. And Kim was talking about bringing Croy and everything, and they get on Kim about that. Like, no, like this is supposed to be a girls' trip, like the movie. Like, hello, you know what I'm saying? Like, no men, no boys allowed. Okay, and so Marlo, she gets up, hitting the glass and everything, trying to get everybody's attention again, talking about she's saying to Kim, I mean, Kim, can you go on a trip with some real African American women and everything? And Kim is talking about the stroke that she supposedly had. I think, what was it, last year? I think around the time when she was doing the whole Dancing with the Stars thing, and I was just like, listen. I'm not saying Kim didn't have the stroke or whatever, this, that, and the third, but I remember when people was talking about it and everything, and I just don't know, y'all. I mean, it's just the fact that she got to bring Croy everywhere, and during taping, he be parked in the parking lot or the driveway of whoever house he's at. I mean, whoever house that Kim is at or whatever. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, you be right in the city of Atlanta with Croy everywhere you go. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. It just, and y'all know Kim be lying about shit. So it's just kind of hard to really just believe her on everything. You know what I mean? But let me stop rambling about that. But the next day or whenever, everybody is getting ready for the Barcelona trip. They're heading to the airport and everything. Kim is not coming because she knows that don't nobody really want Croy there. And Kenya's not going to be coming either. And that was the episode, you guys. Yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.